In the frosted window panes of a crumbling Victorian mansion, the winter sun bled into a sickly orange. Snow blanketed the overgrown lawn, muffling the creaks and groans of the house like a shroud. Inside, amidst cobwebs and dust motes dancing in the shafts of filtered light, lived Emily, a solitary artist struggling to paint the ghosts that haunted her. It wasn't the typical spectre that sent shivers down her spine. This was no wailing spirit or ethereal wisp. It was Santa Claus, but not the jolly, belly-jiggling Santa of Christmas postcards. This Santa was gaunt, his cheeks sunken caverns beneath a tangled white beard. His eyes, once twinkling, were glazed pits of coal, and his crimson suit hung on his skeletal frame like a tattered shroud. He materialized at the edges of Emily's vision, a flicker of red in the dim corners of her studio. At first, she dismissed it as an artist's overactive imagination, but the sightings increased, the flicker becoming a figure, standing by the easel, peering over her shoulder, his skeletal finger tracing the lines of her unfinished portrait. It's a portrait. It wasn't of the Santa in her nightmares, but of the one in the faded photographs adorning the dusty mantelpiece. A young, jovial man holding a baby girl, Emily's grandmother. The house had been passed down through generations. The legend of the ghost Santa whispered alongside Christmas carols. One chilling night, as Emily toiled, brush strokes heavy with dread, the temperature plummeted. The shadows deepened, twisting into monstrous shapes on the walls. Then he materialized fully right behind her. His icy breath rasped in her ear. "Finish the portrait, child. Finish what I started." Terror choked her, but in that moment a surge of defiance replaced fear. She dipped her brush in crimson, painting the coal-black eyes onto her canvas. As the final stroke landed, a blood-curdling shriek ripped through the room. The Santa arrived, the air sizzling with unearthly energy. The photograph on the mantelpiece burst into flames, the image of the young Santa contorting into the visage of the one before her. Then, as suddenly as he appeared, he vanished. The air cleared, the oppressive weight lifting. Dawn crept in, painting the room in a pale, reassuring light. But the horror lingered. Days turned into weeks, and Emily didn't touch her brush. The unfinished portrait, an accusing eye in the dim studio, was a constant reminder of her encounter. Until one Christmas Eve, a knock on the door shattered the silence. A young boy, shivering in the snow, stood on the porch, clutching a tattered letter. His eyes, wide and hopeful, mirrored those in the faded photograph. He was Santa's great-grandson, lost and alone. Hesitantly, Emily took him in. As she cared for him, the story of the ghost Santa unraveled. The young man in the photograph, burdened by family tragedy, had donned the Santa suit on Christmas Eve, intending to bring joy to his baby daughter. But a blizzard claimed him, his spirit tethered to the house by unfulfilled promises. With the warmth of a home and a listening ear, the boy's innocence soothed the restless spirit. One night, Emily awoke to find the portrait finished. The Santa on the canvas, bathed in a gentle silver light, no longer resembled the nightmare figure. He smiled, a sad, grateful smile, before fading away completely. The house creaked less. The winter sun no longer bled sickly orange. In Emily's heart, the fear had been replaced by a strange peace, a bitter. The ghost, Santa, finally at rest, had left behind a legacy not of fright, but of the true meaning of Christmas: compassion, forgiveness, and the enduring warmth of human connection. It was a lesson Emily never forgot, forever etched in the memory of the winter she met the ghost Santa.